Welcome back to Lagos and to some court stories. A Lagos High Court sitting in Igboshere area has struck out a contempt application filed against the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Uche Secondus, and other members of the party's National Working Committee. Justice Taufik Oyekun Abdullahi struck out the application following a request by the applicants to withdraw it. The applicants had alleged that Mr. Secondus and others disobeyed the court's order of last November 12, which restrained them from conducting a special election for vacant offices in the party's Lagos chapter. Last year, December, Justice Oyekun Abdullahi ordered the defendants to show cause why an order for committal should not be made against them for disobeying the court order. In another case, the federal government has filed charges against Mr. Obinna Uzo, his lawyer Anani Chuka, and others not now at large, for alleged forgery in the case involving Senator Ifeanyi Ubah. Mr. Uzo had obtained judgment from an Abuja High Court sitting in Kubwa, which led to the sacking of Senator Ubah as the senator representing Anambra South Senatorial District. In a charge filed by the prosecuting counsel of the force's headquarters, the police held that the affected persons conspired to forge the originating summons of the court. At the resumed hearing before the appeal court, Senator Ubah's lawyer, Onyechi Ikpeazu, prayed the court to order for an original record of the trial court to confirm his earlier application that no counsel signed the originating summons. He held that court documents were forged by Mr. Uzo and his lawyers in obtaining the fraudulent judgment. Attempts by counsel to Uzo's counsel to stop the court from admitting the files brought by the Chief Registrar of the FCT High Court failed. Let's switch now and bring you some business news. Here's Teniola Shibowale.
Banking, so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thanks, Millicent. Welcome to Business News. The Central Bank of Nigeria has ruled out the possibility of devaluing the naira following the panic reaction seen lately in the foreign exchange market. A statement from the regulator this evening attributes the impression in the public to speculative activities of FX dealers who have triggered panic buying in the space. Noting a collaboration with the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, the Apex Bank says mechanisms have been activated to sanction perpetrators of forex hoarding in the financial market. The bank adds that the size of Nigeria's foreign exchange reserves remains robust and comfortable given the current realities of genuine and legitimate FX demands. Meanwhile, at the INE window of the foreign exchange market today, the naira depreciated against the US dollar by 5 naira 67 kobo to close at 374 naira, but remains unchanged at 306 naira 95 kobo in the interbank market. The federal government has identified skills gap as a major factor in the nation's rising unemployment rate, which stands at 23 million. At a meeting in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, policymakers dialogue on the need for youth to brush up hands-on skills in order to bridge this challenge.
Annually, the nation's tertiary institutions churn out thousands of graduates who end up seeking for white-collar jobs. As of 2019, the National Bureau of Statistics estimates that the nation has a total of 23 million people who are unemployed. How to ensure these youths channel their energies into skills that will provide them income is the reason why government officials and experts are brainstorming at this meeting.
If over 20 million Nigerians are not employed, and yet technicians are imported, the answer can only be that Nigerians have not fully embraced skills acquisition as a sustainable alternative to white-collar jobs.
The need for skills acquisition has become more expedient following the rise in kidnappings, armed banditry and other forms of criminality. Government officials believe that the urgent need to help the youth to access skills that will help them contribute to national development remains a top priority.
Nigeria's labor force of over 69 million people is the largest in Africa and the 9th largest in the world. The availability of labor is a critical component of industrial and economic potential, which positions Nigeria as a leading candidate for industrial-related investments. The development of requisite skills and worker productivity is, however, critical to maximize the benefits of Nigeria's large working population.
What is required here, for me personally, is effective collaboration between industry and academia. We hear a lot of statements being made that our youths are not being skilled, but we need to see in large numbers industries who get up on their own, approach academia, approach the NUC, approach National Board for Technical Education, and sit down and design curricula and say these are the areas where we see the skills gap.
While creating job opportunities for the unemployed calls for concerted efforts by both the government and members of the private sector, it remains expedient for the nation's youth to harness the potentials of skill acquisition in making their lives better.
Let's check in on figures from the NSC today. The equities market remained pressured in the face of global uncertainty driven by the fragile macroeconomic environment. Layo Adegoke has the details.
Thanks a lot, Teniola, and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The Nigerian stock market continues to nosedive, hitting new lows of 22,695.88 points and 11.827 trillion naira, respectively, as investors continue to sell off due to the coronavirus concerns. Now, just like in Wednesday's trading session, volume, value, and deals traded today were higher compared to previous sessions, as 1.05 billion shares worth 9.80 billion naira changed hands in 5,500 deals. All the five major sectors we track closed negative, with the banking index shaving off 8.51%, insurance shed 5.22%, while consumer goods lost 2.74%. Tier 1 lenders such as Zenith, UBA, and GT Bank were the most traded stocks for the day. Now, just like in midweek's trading session, Teniola, there were only 3 gainers, while Africa Prudential lost the most by 10%. That's the stock market reports. I'm Layo Adegoke. Back to you.
Well, it was a different game at the global stock market today, as the Dow plunged by about 10% for its worst day since Black Monday in 1987. Other major indices also closed in bear market territory. And that's business news tonight. It's back to you, Millicent.
Banking, so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you, Teniola. And the ambassador of Netherlands, Harry van Dijk, has applauded Shell Petroleum Development Company over the quality of work the international oil company has done and is still doing to clean up the over 1,000 hectares of land polluted as a result of oil exploration at Bodo community in the Ogoni Kingdom of River State. The ambassador, who visited Bodo community to assess the level of cleanup work being done by Shell Petroleum Development Company and the formal execution of Phase 2 of the cleanup and also reclamation process, is optimistic that in the next decade the affected landmass would have become a beautiful mangrove.
About 2 decades ago, this land was covered with spilled crude oil. But today, the people of Bodo community in River State are witnesses to efforts by Shell Petroleum Development Company, SPDC, in cleaning up the polluted area. Not only is their land being cleaned up, the Bodo Mediation Initiative has also positively impacted on the lives of the residents.
BMI has empowered 800 Bodo youths, and they are going to be, or they are already engaged in Phase 2 of the cleanup. which will last for a period of 18 to 24 months.
Appreciative of the improvement this cleanup exercise has brought to the people, the paramount ruler advises his people to work with the contractors on site.
May we also help them by showing our humility and trustfulness. Be humble and dutiful to your contractors and to the work assigned to you.
On his part, the ambassador of the Kingdom of Netherlands commends the SPDC for this feat. He believes the exercise will usher in new release of life for the people in the area.
But it's also very gratifying, I presume, to be working for your own community and to be cleaning up for your own community to provide a better livelihood and a better environment for your own community. And when you come here to Bodo, it's the first time visit, but you feel very much an upbeat spirit here. The whole city looks clean, the roads are very well kept, people are smiling. Especially when the king was talking, I saw great big smiles on the faces of the ladies. So the whole atmosphere is very good, and I congratulate the hard work you've been doing to get the smiles back on the faces of the people.
And at the end of it all, trees were planted to signal the beginning of life on the once polluted land, while certificates were issued to the residents of Bodo who works with SPDC during the cleanup exercise and now skilled in oil spill cleanup and land reclamation.
Still ahead on the news at 10, EU pledges €2,000 each to migrants in overcrowded camps on the Greek islands willing to return to their home countries, and also more from our London bureau in Around the World in 5. Please stay with us.